Hey Kira, have you ever had an unusual pet?
Christine, I'm sorry to say that I haven't actually really had any pets.
No?
I mean, that is with the exception of goldfish.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Like in my heart, of course, they count as a pet, but I think to a lot of people, that's not what you normally consider. It's not a cat or a dog, which I'll have you know, I have asked for every single birthday and Christmas of my entire life. We're still waiting.
Oh, no.
But I will tell you, I don't know whether you ever had them when you were growing up, but we used to have this thing called sea monkeys.
Oh, right. Yeah, I found those very creepy.
I liked them, and I think I had them 1 or 2 times. But basically, for anyone who's not familiar with sea monkeys, you would get like this sachet of powder, essentially, and then you would mix it in some water, and then these tiny, like microscopic shrimp would grow, and you could just watch them. They didn't do anything. You just watched them.
And how long did they live?
Like 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
So I'm sure slightly longer than that, but I think most of the time they ended up, like on the floor. I looked after my sea monkeys as well as you can look after sea monkeys, but I would say those are some of the most unusual pets that I've had. And aside from that, I guess I've also had some unusual, not real pets. I mean, like
imaginary.
Well, that too, yeah. I definitely had an imaginary dragon when I was growing up.
That's pretty cool.
I know, right?
What was his name? Did he have a name?
I don't know, Christine.
Oh,
this was a long time ago. I don't remember. And of course, also Tamagotchis. Oh, and Nintendogs. So I had so many pets. I'm basically like swimming in pets, just like my little sea monkeys.
Yeah, so cute. Yeah, I also had a digital dog. His name was, I had him for years, and his name was Sock.
Sock. What a great name.
Yeah, I know.
For a digital dog.
Yeah.
Did you have any other unusual pets, Christine?
Well, I also once had a goldfish, and his name was Carrot because he was orange.
Wow, that's really inventive.
Yeah, very creative. No, also the same as Sock. No, but I did once have as a pet ladybugs, like one ladybug.
What? Did you just find this on a leaf outside?
Well, yes. The thing was that I have no idea how we got this ladybug, because I am very scared of ladybugs. So I'm not even sure how we got the ladybug, but it was in school. We shared this ladybug with like multiple people.
What?
I know.
I'm pretty sure ladybugs live about as long as sea monkeys.
Maybe. Yeah, this one also didn't live very long. We called her Lieve, because in Dutch, ladybug is Lieve Heersbeestje, so we called her Lieve. That was her name. And we had, was back in middle school, and then you had, groups.
Wait, this was in middle school?
Yeah, that was in middle school.
And you're all babysitting a ladybug.
Yeah, it was in middle school, and then you had, the groups with the tables, and you had, a little group of people that would surround you. Mm-hmm. And you would have a little box in the middle with, pens and pencils and whatever.
And your ladybug.
No, yeah, we didn't have pens in there, but we had a little terrarium.
Yeah.
And we had a little terrarium for Lieve, for our ladybug.
But you didn't take her home.
No, we did, but I never did because I was scared of them. But we would feed it tiny little slices of apple, or cucumber, I think, or whatever. And we would refresh the box every couple of weeks.
What, with a new ladybug?
No, no, with new leaves, and new stick, and just new stuff.
Wow, living the dream.
Yeah, but she always tried escaping.
I wonder why.
I know. It's really messed up, but eventually she ended up passing away because
R.I.P.
She was trampled to death. I know.
And on that note,
let's continue. Let's not continue with this awful story. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid no ladybugs for you today, Christine,
no.
But we will be talking about a no-date pact, ultra romantic gestures, and a very unusual pet. It's season 1, episode 10 of Friends.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello and welcome to Friends of Friends, the ultimate Friends rewatch podcast. I'm Kira Murphy.
And I'm Christine Schumacher, and we are back rewatching the entire Friends series.
Why? Well, number one, because it's the only way I'll ever get Christine to stop talking about ladybugs. And number two, because we want to watch it with you.
Each week, we'll be rewatching an episode of Friends, talking about it, sharing behind-the-scenes content, and discussing anything and everything about the show that shaped an entire generation.
So before we get into it, Chris, if your week was an episode of Friends, what would it be called?
Oh, I have a very stupid story for you.
I love stupid stories.
It will be the one with the shaving knife. What do you call that? Like what you use to shave your legs.
Like a razor?
A razor, thank you very much. Because the weather is getting warmer, the weather is great, so I was gonna wear shorts.
Ready to get your pins out?
Yeah, my very white legs. So I was shaving my legs, but I have the very dumb, thing in my mind that when I do stupid things when I'm holding a razor.
What? Always?
Yeah, I do dumb things. So it is not mostly. I used to do. I one time, many years ago, I had an itch on my leg and I was holding a razor and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
Oh no!
With the razor, and that was not a good idea. So, but now I also had an itch, but I scratched my my head and
with the razor.
Yeah, but you cannot really see. But I have a couple hairs that are a little shorter than the rest. But
Listeners, Christine has a very visible bald spot.
No, I do not. But I was scratching my head with the razor in my hand, and then I looked at my hand, and there was a few hairs. I was like, oh no, I almost shaved my head off. No, wait, no, not my head off. No, just a few hairs, which I was like, that's not a good idea.
Christine, we need to get you a safety razor.
Yeah, maybe, because I don't know. I just forget that I have the thing on my hand, and I just do stupid stuff.
Great.
But you cannot really see it. It's a couple of hairs. So there's one,
you tell yourself that, Christine.
I know. There's one strain of hair that sometimes comes out. That's just shorter than the rest.
I think the only solution is to shave your entire head.
No.
Otherwise it will look weird.
No. You didn't even notice it before I said it.
Okay, I have a question. For science, can we use one of those apps that shows you what you would look like if you were bald?
Sure.
And post it online?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I've once done it before, and with a mustache as well, and I look very much like my dad.
I'm sure that's a compliment, so...
yeah, maybe.
Did your dad listen to this podcast?
It was a compliment, yes. Let's just say that.
Okay.
But let's continue. So, Kira, if your week was an episode of Friends, what would it be called?
Well, Christine, I have a very exciting story for you this week, because mine would be called The One with the Camino. Mm-hmm. So for our lovely listeners at home, they might not know, but the last 2 weeks I have been walking the Camino de Santiago from Porto in Portugal all the way up to Santiago in Spain, which is about 260 kilometers with the route that we took. Yeah, it took almost 2 weeks, and Christine, it was wonderful. It was so nice. The weather honestly wasn't that great, but I liked the experience so much, just waking up every day and knowing that all I have to do is walk.
Yeah, it's such a simple way of living.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No responsibilities. I didn't have to think about work or anything going on in real life, I just had to think about, let's get to the next destination. And not only that, but also the scenery was really beautiful. We were going through these really small, picturesque towns, that I think previously I would have been like, I can never live here. It's too boring. But now, it's kind of growing on me.
Yeah.
A little bit. We saw beautiful animals, met some really interesting people. And yeah, I really enjoyed the whole experience.
It sounds really lovely. The only thing you have to worry about is indeed walking and your next bed for the night.
And also the blisters on your feet.
Oh, yeah.
That's the slightly less glamorous part of it. So I think 2 weeks was the right amount of time. But one thing that they do say about Caminos is that when you do one, they kind of become addictive.
Ooh, so you already have the next one planned?
I wouldn't say planned, but it's definitely there in the back of my mind. It's probably going to happen someday. So yeah, Christine, if you want to take this show on the road, We can just
that would
Camino
be
together.
a whole different podcast. But it would be cool, actually, I think.
And look, that would be perfect. Kira and Christine
On the road.
do a... Come on. If only there was a better name than that that has the letter C in it, Christine.
On the Camino. Yeah, right.
I'm all about alliteration on this pod. Like Friends of Friends, Kira and Christine on the Camino. Has to be done.
Yeah, it's a great fit. Yeah. Please.
So yeah, that was my week.
Nice. Sounds very sporty. Are your legs recovered and your feet as well?
I would say so, yeah.
Nice,
I'm feeling
good.
strong. I'm feeling like I could keep on walking, standing, anything
Nice.
we need.
So
she says sitting down right
Yeah.
now. So.
But you're ready for this new episode?
Oh, you bet I am. That's what my Camino training was for.
Just
For this episode. So Christine, you ready to get into it?
I am.
This week we'll be discussing Season 1, Episode 10, The One with the Monkey. Originally aired on December 15th, 1994, this episode was written by Adam Chase and Ira Ungerleider and directed by Peter Boners.
In addition to our regular cast, we have Henk Azaria as David, Vincent Ventresca as Fun Bobby, and Wayne Pierre as Max. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, sorry.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be able to pronounce your last name either.
No.
So.
True.
Well, Christine, I wanted to start with a little Friends fact right up early in today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because we do have an extra special guest star this week.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But she is uncredited. I
She
am
is?
talking about, of course, Katie as Marcel the monkey.
She is a female monkey and she plays a male monkey.
I know, you wouldn't
Oh.
even know it.
No.
But I think she deserves all the credit in the world. And an extra fun fact I found out is that Katie was actually the first one in the cast to get a role in a Hollywood film.
Oh, that is...
So this, I think the same year that they filmed this episode, she also starred in a Hollywood film called Outbreak. So good on you, Katie.
Is that on a reference to like later? Did they use that like that idea for like later in the series?
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to look into that.
Yeah, that's interesting. We will have to look into that, definitely. But that's a cool fact. Yeah, Katie as Marcel. And I quickly also have a fun Friends fact for you. It's that Lisa Kudrow, of course Phoebe, this was her first Emmy nomination that she received for this episode.
That's crazy. I have loved her since episode 1 and she gets all my Emmy nominations. But I love that for her. Good on
she
you,
did
Lisa.
great. Yeah.
We love you. Take our Friends of Friends Emmy, which is, I think, more valuable than the real one, right?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Well, not only was this an episode that got Lisa Kudrow her first Emmy nomination, but it's also ranked as 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb. So we're still hitting those high numbers, Christine. Well, would you mind, Christine, giving us a brief overview of today's episode?
Of course. So in this episode, the gang make and break a pact not to bring dates to their New Year's Eve party. Phoebe starts dating a scientist, and Ross compensates for his loneliness by getting a monkey.
That seems like a very logical thing to do, you know?
No. I would never do that.
No?
No.
I feel like your apartment would be a great place for a monkey.
No, it would break a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah, you know, they do that. But you know what I find interesting is about every episode of Friends, I've decided that they work on the rule of threes, right? I think there's always 3 main storylines occurring.
So this one is the pact, the relationship between David and Phoebe, and then the monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... yeah. Could be true, actually, yeah.
And it makes it pretty easy for us to discuss as well then.
Yeah, way easier. That's nice. So to get into it, this episode starts with Ross arriving to Monica's festive decorated apartment to introduce the guys to his new roommate, Marcel the monkey.
Christine, I will start a lot of our episodes by talking about the establishing shots. And this was another one that I absolutely fell in love with. You know, the first shot of New York partially covered in snow. It made me firstly want to go back to New York. And secondly, I hate to say it, but excited for Christmas.
Yeah, and it's...
We are recording this not anywhere near to Christmas, but I'm ready. Mariah Carey, come get it.
Yeah. The cozy vibes are really there. Also the decorations in Monica's apartment with the festive thing around the door.
Tinsel, yeah.
The tinsel, yeah. And just all the I'm not sure, but what else? She like the little Christmas tree near the bathroom door. Super cute. So cute.
I think, you know what? I think that's what our studio is missing. It's that cozy atmosphere.
So you're saying we need to get a Christmas tree?
I wouldn't be against it. But we can start with some fairy lights, some candles, set the mood, get that cozy vibe.
Sure, I'm all for it.
Well, listeners, I have a secret. Christine already has some pretty cool decoration in her apartment / our studio. Christine, will you tell them what you got installed recently?
Oh, yes, I have a disco ball in my hallway.
The way you said that, like it's not the most interesting thing ever. I don't know anyone else with a disco ball in their hallway.
Oh, I know, because I got inspired by my sister's boyfriend, or at least their apartment. They have disco balls well in their living room, and I have mine in my hallway. So I can like dance while I'm cooking dinner. That was my whole thing. I wanted to just have like a disco party while I'm cooking. Well,
perfect.
Yeah, I love it.
I think this is a terrible segue. I think someone who would enjoy dancing in the kitchen is, of course, Marcel the monkey.
Marcel. I'm not sure.
No, not my best segue, but we're going with it. I just think that the way Ross just appears in the apartment and there's a monkey out was like, this is ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's so random. It's like they had no ideas anymore, and they were like, we're gonna introduce a monkey.
Oh, why not? Yeah.
No, I hate to say it, but I just don't like Marcel very much. The upcoming couple of episodes...
let's not get ahead of ourselves. No, in this episode, though.
Yeah, no, also no. But just like Marcel appears in like the couple next episodes as well. And those are lower on my list of like favorite episodes.
You don't like what he brought to the show?
No. He is also like, because he's not a very nice monkey. To Ross, at least. So I don't know. I just don't really like it.
Well, Christine, it turns out you're not the only one, because I'm about to hit you with another Friends fact right now.
Oh, okay.
So in a television interview, David Schwimmer, when asked who his least favorite friend from the show was, and who he would most like to see leave the entire series, he said Marcel.
Yeah, I understand, because Marcel's mean to Ross as well, to David Schwimmer. So yeah, I get why he said that.
Fair enough.
But let's move on from Marcel. Do you want to say anything else about Marcel?
I do indeed.
Oh, okay.
My question is, would you have preferred Marcel if he was called Bethel?
No. No, also no. No, thank you.
I thought that was really interesting that you don't like Marcel, because I wrote down in my notes from this first scene, bearing in mind I didn't remember, where the story goes. I thought the monkey was so well behaved. And I know as we get on, like, he does show his mean side, but... he's so cute.
Maybe I'm influenced by that, because I already know he's going to be mean. So
ooh.
That might be a me issue there.
No.
But to quickly move on from Marcel, I just want to say, what is Monica wearing?
I don't know. Remind me.
She was wearing a Bordeaux red, like a deep red dress. Burgundy red dress, but like very like modest. Like almost like she was part of like a cult or something. I don't want to say, but I just didn't like it. Didn't like it very much. But in comparison to Monica, Rachel, oh my god.
You liked it?
Gorgeous, yes.
What was she wearing?
She was wearing like a knitted vest. Like a cardigan? No, like a vest.
Okay.
Like very cute, like white or like cream colored, and just very cute. Like such a comparison between Monica and Rachel.
Well, I think actually she has the wardrobe that I would most like to steal out of the series.
Yeah, it would be a close call between Monica and Rachel for me, I think. Because Monica also has some good stuff.
But not in this episode.
No. Surely, no.
Well, anyway, we continue in Central Park, where Joey reveals that he didn't get the part of Santa this year. And Chandler also proposes a no-date New Year's Eve. Meanwhile, Phoebe gets up to sing a, let's call it, uplifting set of not one, not two, but 12 songs all about her mother's suicide, when she's interrupted by two strange men sitting in the coffee shop.
Oh man, those songs.
You're already onto the songs?
Yeah, I know. You reminded me of like 12 songs, and they're all awful.
Well, we only heard, two of them?
Yeah, the man with the eyes of coal with a look so bewitching. How was I supposed to know that my mom was dead in the kitchen? Yeah, just
I want you to know that Christine and I just use this podcast exclusively to have karaoke sessions.
Yes. Well, of only Phoebe songs and maybe some other, but mostly.
Oh yeah,
Phoebe
no,
songs.
that's not true. In one of the recent episodes,
Yeah,
you
we
did
did.
also sing.
Don't stand so close to me.
Again, are we going to have that in every episode? I think it's about time for me to bring back Kiki in that case.
No, we don't.
Well,
No, thank
yeah, I know you might not be a fan of Phoebe's songs, but I mean, it adds a lot to her character, right?
Yeah, she is cute.
And I found out that actually Phoebe only plays 3 different guitars over the course of the series, the first of which appears in this episode, and it is a Martin D18 for any guitar heads out there. If you too want to sound like Phoebe.
My greatest dream. No, but I didn't even notice that. Are they different in looks as well?
I have no idea. This is the first one we've seen.
I will keep an eye out.
I don't know how Lisa Kudrow does not crack up when she's singing those songs though.
That takes some effort, but I think that's for all the whole cast. They need to really like control their laughing muscles, because I would have laughed my ass off in this show.
Well.
I could have never kept a straight face. Never.
Well, anyway, clearly Phoebe's songs and her looks do work for many, I would say some people in the audience, because this is where we meet the lovely David. Christine, I think I might be in love with David.
Well, again, I am biased because I know what he's going to become. Or like, not really what he's going to become, but like in this episode, he's cute, very wholesome. But later in the series, he turned... Well, I find him quite annoying.
Don't ruin him for me.
I know, I'm sorry, but when the first time I saw him, I thought like, oh yeah, cute dude. But now I know like the rest of it, I'm like,
Well, I like how open he is with like, he just tells her, that's what we were talking about, how beautiful you are.
Yeah,
So
that's true. He is very straightforward, like saying that Phoebe is prettier than Daryl Hannah. And she definitely is. I looked her up. Phoebe is definitely prettier than Daryl Hannah.
Well, of course, in this episode and throughout the series, David is played by Hank Azaria, who is the 4th celebrity guest of the series. And I don't know whether you know any of his past work, Christine?
No, I actually don't.
Well, he's most famous as one of the main voices in The Simpsons.
Oh,
So,
who does he play?
oh my gosh, Christine, I'm so glad you asked. Hank Azaria voiced people like Mo Sislak, Chief Wiggum, Superintendent Chalmers, Comic Book Guy, Professor Frink, Kirk Van Houten, Duffman, Apu Nahasapima Petalon, Lou, and Carl.
Wow, holy
So,
moly.
I think that's pretty much half, maybe even more,
That's
of the
insane.
main Friends cast.
I didn't even know.
Sorry, not Friends,
No.
The Simpsons.
Simpsons guys, yeah.
That would be really weird if Hank Azaria was playing half of the Friends cast.
Like with a blonde wig and then with a brown wig or whatever.
Why not? Why not?
Very funny.
But I was thinking about who I would like to play David in our modern retelling of Friends.
Yeah. Ooh, I already know.
Okay.
The guy from The Last of Us.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. I would see him.
Really?
Yeah.
I also think he has a lot of potential, but I think he's a bit old for the cast.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Harry Styles. Next. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I
Maybe.
see it. He could pull off the nerdy guy.
Yeah, I think he can.
Yeah.
But who were you thinking
Well,
about?
now that you've said Harry Styles, I'm seeing that too. But actually, the one that I wrote down was Milo Manheim. Do you know him?
Do you know a movie he plays in?
Well, he's a former Disney Channel star. And
Milo.
that's pretty much all I can tell you.
Oh, Manheim.
Yeah. Which coincidentally is
Oh, right. Yeah, I know
the
him.
town
Oh,
that I was born in.
Yeah, he would be perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is Manheim the town you born in?
Near enough to, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then I also had a dream casting for his friend Max.
Oh, I don't know.
And this might be somebody else who you might want to Google. I would choose Damiano David. Damiano David?
Is it the singer?
Yes, the guy from
from,
Maneskin.
Yeah, but he's too pretty.
But he's got the hair.
Yeah,
It's the
he does
hair.
have the hair.
Max is kind of pretty too.
Yeah, in a way, I do agree with you, but Damiano is prettier.
Okay, that's fine. I can just have a hot friends cast. Why not?
Sure.
Why not? Don't stamp on my dreams.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, I would love if for all of our listeners to let us know, do you agree with our dream casting or do you have other ideas? We would love to hear them. So send in your ideas and any other comments you might have to us on Instagram at FOFPodOfficial or
through our email, which is fofpodofficial@gmail.com. I'm going faster and faster. Sorry.
Well, I have something that might shock you, or maybe you'll just tell me I'm absolutely wrong again. Christine, I do think there is yet more new artwork in Central Park.
Okay, and where is it?
Hear me out. Well, firstly, I count all of the festive stuff.
Yeah,
That's new.
Okay.
But, tell me I'm wrong. Porcelain cow head.
Is there a porcelain
There's
cow
a
head?
porcelain cow head.
I did not see it. Where is it? Is it on
the wall.
On the wall?
That's not very helpful, but it's there. It's on the wall.
I will take a look. I will come back to you next week.
Oh, I'm so
next episode.
excited. I live for this. And since we're here, what did you think about the no date New Year's pact?
I think it's good, actually. Because some, I also have a friend group and they also are also like in relationships. And of course, I like their spouses, so to say.
Partners.
But sometimes it's just nice to have just your inner circles, just to have like your tight friend group. So I do agree it's a good thing.
But you know what? I thought that more than that, I was just surprised that he suggested they do a dinner, considering how poorly the Thanksgiving dinner went.
Yeah.
Like, could Chandler learn?
No, but now they learn from their mistakes and then they will do better, hopefully.
Well, are you sure?
I don't know.
We've both seen this episode, Christine.
Yeah. But eventually, it turns into a party, so... But, would you do like a friends pact or no?
A friends pact?
Or like what they do now, like a New Year's pact, like no dates pact.
I think it's cute too, but I think I would do that more for like Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day,
That's a good one.
Because that's the time of year. Well, also New Year's, you want someone to kiss at midnight.
Nah, I don't care about
I don't know. I feel like these events should be spent with the people you love, so...
Yeah,
unless I really didn't like the partners of my friends, and then I'm like, hey guys, no partners allowed.
Yeah, no, I agree. Valentine's Day is more for your friends, so that's less. I think it's such a commercial holiday, so I think it's better to celebrate with your friends.
But look, guys, if anyone wants to buy me chocolate, I won't say no. So
Kira can be bribed with chocolate, of course.
Very easily.
So to get back to the apartment, Phoebe wants to bring David to the New Year's party at Monica's, but the guys find it annoying, as this will break the no-date promise. Chandler also offers to babysit Marcel while Ross is working late. So first things first, Phoebe is hilarious with her, how subtle she brings it with like, I really like David. I just want to be with him all the time. Day and night and night and day and special occasions.
Oh, how subtle.
So subtle. But yeah, the guys don't fall for it.
Oh,
obviously.
But I get it though. As I said, I'm madly in love with David by this point. So I also would want to spend New Year's with him.
No. No.
Well, it seems like Phoebe is not the only one who wants to bring an illegal partner to the party. Christine, all I wrote in my notes, because I was so excited, is just the word Janice!
Janice! She's coming back.
So you don't know how much I've missed her. Look,
Yeah?
if I'm ranking like my favorite characters of the series so far, we're going number 1, Phoebe. Number 2, Phoebe. Number 3, Janice.
Ah, cute. But you're missing Janice. I'm still missing Gunther. Still.
Gunther has not even appeared.
No, I know. So I cannot theoretically miss him, but still I miss him.
In advance. That's
Poor
fair
Gunther.
enough. That's fair enough.
No, but to come back to Janice, like Monica says, like that was the worst breakup in history.
Well,
but
it wasn't really though.
No, I was already thinking like that doesn't make sense because last time Phoebe broke up for him.
And that was a great breakup.
And that was
it
a great,
not?
yeah, he was like hyped from all the espressos I think
Yeah.
he was drinking or something. But that was a great breakup in my opinion. Nothing bad about it.
I just, you know what, I do love Janice, but I would like to give her a stern talking to and say, woman, what are you doing? Because Chandler is, he treats her so poorly. Like, I cannot get behind this relationship. Janice deserves better.
She does.
And I'm going to tell you, Christine, at this point in the series, I love David and I full on hate Chandler.
Oh.
I really don't like him. I think he's so mean to Janice. I think he's kind of mean to his friends as well. So I didn't remember having this like dislike for him. I just don't think he's a nice person.
No, he's a little obnoxious in this episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Later
And this
on as
episode,
well.
it really drilled it home. I was like, I don't like you, man.
No. Poor Chandler.
Well,
No, actually, no. He brought it upon himself. So
I think maybe. One thing I do love, Joey's elf costume.
yeah, the shoes. Oh my god, the shoes.
with the
So
bells.
funny. With the whole curl. Like, very...
You know what? I think this
extra.
is actually the costume that I would most like to steal from
Yeah?
the series. No.
would be great for Christmas parties.
Okay, I'll show up to our next episode wearing that.
Yeah, it will be. You,
I think it would
you
be
would
kind
have to sit very quietly.
I know it would be quite quite annoying for our recording, but anyway, super nice costume. I think
Yeah.
he looks great as an elf. Like that, I feel is a better fit for him than Santa.
Yeah, I think so too. He's way better as an elf. But to talk about outfits overall, I really like the
Back
Christmas
to our
scene.
fashion guru.
Yeah, I also in the last scene, Rachel again looked so great with the off-shoulder red top, and then she was also wearing an apron in
Ooh.
Central Park with like little embroidered like glittery presents on there. So cute.
I was
my
not
God.
paying enough attention to the outfits in this episode.
No, yeah, apparently no.
Maybe we
But
should
I
post
did
some
for
of them.
both
Can you
us.
post your outfit highlights?
Sure.
I would love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I can see them again. Fantastic.
Sure, I will. Collect them together to post. But to get back to my point, sorry, is that I really like that this is of course a Christmassy episode. So they also dressed the guys, the cast, in like Christmassy colors. So like lots of reds and greens and just like very cozy colors. That's what I really noticed.
Well, I think I've solved the mystery maybe a little bit of the mixed up episode order that we spoke about in a number of our podcast recordings, because it makes perfect sense. If you know that you have to have an episode that airs on December 15th, it's probably going to be your Christmas episode, right?
Yeah.
And the one before this aired around Thanksgiving, so of course they had to air the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, but
and then all the ones before that are non-seasonal oriented. So.
Yeah, okay, but then why don't you just keep it in mind when you're scheduling the episodes? Like
maybe they
when
don't know
you're-
that.
They didn't know when they were like going
I
to
doubt
air.
it. I guess you know,
Oh.
when the season got picked up, you don't know exactly when it's going to air. So
Yeah, okay, that makes it a little bit more difficult.
that would be my
But
guess.
again, they should have known that beforehand, so then they could make like adjustments in the episodes so these like disruptancies don't happen.
Maybe.
That's my opinion. I don't know.
That's my opinion.
I'm not a filmmaker, so I have no idea.
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
Just gave Christine the eye. Last thing I wanted to say is that number one, Marcel is playing in the kitchen. Does the apartment not have a health code?
Ooh,
Who
yeah.
let a
Monica.
monkey in this apartment building?
Yeah.
I know this is New York, but like,
Yeah.
I don't think we can just let monkeys roam around.
No, and then Monica lets him even. That's
Yeah, which is
also
very
a
strange.
surprise.
That's out of
Yeah.
character for Monica. And I know I just said how much I despise Chandler, but I will admit he did have a nice little quip here. So when Ross is wondering if somebody can babysit Marcel, and Chandler volunteers, and Ross is like, okay, but if you do, make sure it seems like you're there to see him and not like you're doing it as a favor to me. And Chandler's like, okay, but if he asks me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The
was funny.
monkey's gonna talk. Yeah, I thought that was nice. So Chandler, you get 0.3% of a point from me.
He will be very happy.
I'm sure he will. Anyway, next, Phoebe heads on over to David's lab and asks a very important question. Is he ever going to kiss her?
Ooh. And this is where he's beginning to show like his... Well, he's dorky, of course, we already knew that, but like his slowness. I think that's my biggest issue with David, that he's so slow.
What do you mean?
Like also the way he talks, and then just like, oh, this was a gift, and then moves his laptop to the side, which is also understandable because I would never throw my laptop on the floor.
Well, that's good. We need them.
Yeah. But again, he's just like so, I don't know, slow or something.
Oh.
Maybe-
You know, I read that as cute. I thought it was like that leans into his dorky, nerdy
Yeah,
side, and
but-
that's like why you like him.
Yeah, no, not for me.
No, okay. But did you not think that it was incredibly cute when Phoebe asks, "Were you planning on kissing me ever?" And David is like, "That's definitely a valid question," and the answer would be, and then he writes yes
Yeah.
on the board.
That's also
so
that is
cute.
cute, but I just cannot get around his how do you say that, like his characteristics. Just the way he talks, the way he moves, the way he is slow.
Oh,
Sorry.
poor David.
I know, but I did see, while you're mentioning now that he wrote yes on the board, there was a change in the way he wrote it. Then it clips to where you also see Phoebe in the visual, and then the word yes is written differently.
Well, the stuff on the table also moves.
Oh,
So they definitely
Ghosts.
filmed Yeah, maybe. Oh no, I cannot have another ghost story after the previous episode. No more true crime. Well, anyway, I thought maybe we can hand this over to the listeners. I want to post like a story poll about whether David is A, cringe, or B, romantic.
yeah.
Because I am definitely team romantic.
I'm team cringe.
All right,
Let's do it. So to continue, in the coffee shop, Ross gets upset because with the whole gang bringing dates, he is the only one without a date for New Year's Eve. Then Max rushes in with news. He and David have gotten the grant to go and research in Minsk.
Ooh, there's a lot happening in this scene.
Yeah,
So of course, the whole gang, they now have dates now, right? So we have Chandler and Janice, Phoebe and David. My David. Paolo is flying in earlier to meet with Rachel. Monica is inviting Fun Bobby. And Joey apparently is just hooking up with a hot single mum,
Yeah,
which
with
is
Sandy.
so Joey.
Yeah, so Joey. And her name is Sandy.
Is that, what does that mean?
I don't know. I will tell you later because then we see her and I will tell you what I think of her. But not yet.
Okay.
Sorry. First things first is Minsk is not even located in Russia.
That is very true.
It's located in Belarus.
That's a good geography lesson, Christine.
Yeah, because like well, how does it make sense? I was already thinking because my sister went to Minsk and I knew that it wasn't in Russia.
Did your sister do research there?
No, she did not.
Aw.
She also didn't lose a pinky toe. So that's good.
I don't know what that means.
You will learn later, okay?
Stop spoiling the series
Sorry.
for me.
I'm sorry, but yeah, just a big mistake. And Max is a smart guy, so how does he make the mistake of saying that Minsk is in Russia?
Well, this is something that a lot of people have brought up. I noticed that as well. It's in Belarus.
Yeah.
But there was a time that it was occupied by Russia, I
But
believe.
that was
Before
this episode.
And also, apparently, Lisa Kudrow's relatives are from Belarus. So she, of all people,
wow.
should be able to correct them on this. So I don't know what happened here, whether it was an oversight or they just wanted to be politically some sort of way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Weird. But a big mess there. But oh my god, the expression on Phoebe's face is so sad.
So sad.
It's
yeah,
really
poor
sad.
Phoebe.
Yeah.
See, she's not the only one in love with David. I forgot his name there.
And you say you have a crush on him. Oh my god.
I forget all my boyfriends' names. It's fine.
Aww.
I was also, so yeah, that's a very sad situation for one of our couples. Christine, can you please explain to me Paolo and Rachel? I do not understand that relationship.
How do you mean? Like how do they communicate? Like you said earlier.
Anything.
Yeah,
I'm so curious about it because he's been away in Rome pretty much since we met him, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
He's named Rachel's breasts.
Yeah. That's what we learn.
I don't know. I'm so curious.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care about that because I don't care about Paolo. I find him
brutal.
I find him annoying, so I don't care.
Oh gosh.
I don't care about
Your
him.
Dutch side is showing, Christine.
Yeah, I know. So there's one last thing I want to say about this scene is the part where Chandler tells Ross about how Marcel is juggling socks and even a melon at one point.
Sorry, a melon?
Yeah, I know. I was very curious about that as well, because is that a watermelon or like a honey melon? So
I think they're all quite large, right?
Yeah, they're quite large for like monkey hands. So I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, just the response of Ross is, I'm not sure what he says, but he's like, his eyes and his face expression is like very jealous. And I just love how they depicted Ross and Marcel as kind of like as if they're like in a couple.
Oh,
and Ross is like jealous of Marcel doing tricks for others and not for him.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he like leans forward like he's trying not to reveal that he doesn't know about the juggling thing.
Yeah, but, poor Ross, but also like very well executed, I think, like very well acted.
Indeed. Even though it was Marcel who went on to get that Hollywood big break.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I say? Anyway, we continue back at the lab where David is not sure whether to go to Minsk because of Phoebe. And when he asks her to decide for him, she tells him to stay.
Very dramatic.
Right? This was an intense scene.
Yeah, I would have never done that, to be honest. I mean, of course, I understand there are feelings there, and it's very like serious to lose your boyfriend for like 3 years. That's not doable. And I don't even think Phoebe has a passport. Anyway, but so it's a very heavy decision, and then she just makes it, and I could never do that.
Well, I mean, I think it's because David couldn't make up his own mind, right?
Yeah, also true.
Often, well, what they say is that, like, if you can't make a decision, you should always flip a coin, and then it doesn't matter which way it ends, but which way it lands. The way that you feel about how it lands will tell you what's the right idea.
True, that's
so
true.
Maybe like Phoebe telling him to stay makes him realize, oh, that is the right or the wrong decision.
Yeah, but then his response is very doubtful. So maybe that already showed like his choice, actually.
Well, I get it. I mean, like, if you've just met this man and you think he's perfect, which it seems like Phoebe does, you know, she wants to spend night and day and day and night and all of the rest with him. Like, of course, why would you want to let that go? And, I mean, I don't think anybody should be more married to their work than to somebody they like or love, you know? So I don't know, sometimes you do have to make these decisions. And if I keep wanting to call him Max, it's David. If David wants to go to Minsk, then maybe, you know, he's not all he's cracked up to be.
No, and I'm very much a person that says, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and then it happens. So then at this point, then I don't know, the universe almost like sends a sign like, this is not the guy for you.
Well,
I think
I would like to agree with you, but I think David does actually feel super strongly about Phoebe. And one way that we can tell this is during this scene, in the back of the camera view, you can see the whiteboard. And there's a line there that says David equals Phoebe, but it's in mathematical language. Yeah. So, I mean, like, he wrote that.
That is so cute.
I know.
That is so adorable.
So I think he really does have strong feelings for her.
Yeah, he does. I'm sure he does. But it's a very difficult situation.
Oh, for sure.
Very, very difficult. But then, I don't like David, but I also really don't like Max.
Max has some issues.
Yeah, he is clearly. Like so childish. Like, no, I want to stay home and
make out with my girlfriend.
Grow up, man.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I don't think we can't have mature men like Pedro Pascal and his ilk playing these immature characters. No. But one last thing I wanted to say about the lab is I am such a big fan of the Friends set designers. In this one, I swear there are things in this lab that I don't think do anything at all. There's just like a light stick. Which looks very pretty.
Like the
yeah.
It looks cool.
Is that a science thing, Christine?
Most likely. I have no idea what it does, but I think it is there for a reason.
For science. Good.
So.
Case closed.
So at the party, almost everyone is with their dates, but plans are not going as expected. Joey's date brought her 2 children. Janice is being Janice. Ross is ditched by Marcel, and Rachel arrives after being beaten up.
Christine, I have so much to say, but first of all, stop the presses. Did you hear the song in the background of this scene?
I don't think so.
Christine.
Such
Christine.
a shame. I know. What
The
is
song, it is Shiny Happy People by REM.
Isn't that one of the songs that was maybe supposed to be the intro?
That is the song.
Oh.
Yes, I heard the opening bars of that song and I was like, oh my gosh, they used it.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was, it was such a nice, this really closed it up for me, because when we spoke about that, I think, as early as one of the first 2 or 3 episodes, about how it was almost this song. And then I was like, oh, I guess they just decided not to use it at all. But here it is.
Yeah.
In the background for Monica's party.
Yeah, it's
so,
like a consultation prize that they didn't
consultation prize.
Yeah.
No, I can't speak either. Yeah, I thought that was super nice and a good song. So you can add that to your karaoke playlist.
I will add it to my Spotify list, yes. And first thing first, Monica looks stunning.
I
Oh my God.
regret deeply that I did not pay attention to any of the outfits.
Oh, she was wearing a silver silky dress.
Oh, wait, yes. I thought it was beautiful
my.
too.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. Really, I have
gee whiz.
a Monica crush right now, but really, really pretty.
I'm wondering, did you already have a crush on Monica?
I'm not sure.
Because I think we've, by episode 10, I'm pretty sure you've cycled through the characters.
There have been many.
Well, after seeing that dress, you know what? More power to you, because she did look very, very beautiful. So.
But now I also want to tell you, about why Sandy looked so the way she does.
Sandy, the hot single mom.
She really reminds me of Sandy from Grease.
Is it the hair?
Yeah, also the hair. And just the way she talks is very similar to Sandy from Grease, I think. Just like, tell me about it, stud. That's what Sandy says in Grease, and she talks like, I don't know, I cannot copy it, but it sounds similar in a way, and I guess it's also the hair. And then, of course, Joey shows up in like a leather jacket, so that's what I also think, like, such Grease vibes.
Yeah, interesting, because from what I remember from Grease, like Sandy or Sandra D, at the beginning, she's like a very
girly girl, and then
like,
later, she's
pure,
like,
and she doesn't really speak that way, but maybe at the end she's like,
yeah. She gets
stuff.
a transformation, and then she says, like, tell me about it, stud.
And what does Sandy say? Or she just speaks in
That's
that
what
kind of...
Sandy
That's
says.
what Sandy says.
She calls
Too
Danny.
many Sandys.
She calls Danny the guy that's her love.
Wait, which Sandy are we talking about?
I'm sorry. Sandy from Grease.
Okay,
says,
I meant Sandy from Friends.
No. She says, like, hi, I'm Sandy. She doesn't
say, tell me about it, stud.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. That's not what's being said here. No, sorry. Okay. But yeah, she just reminds me of Sandy from Grease.
Well, maybe it was planned that way.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Well, you spoke about Monica looking so beautiful. I mean, I think it's very hard for Jennifer Aniston not to look beautiful, but they do a good job.
Yeah, they do a good job here. My oh my. Her coat, like, completely brown.
Oh, yeah. It kind of scared me when she walked in and I was like, ugh.
She looked like a murder victim or something. Honestly.
Sorry, she looked like a murder victim.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she was, like, murdered but then came back to life. Something like that.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, poor Rachel.
Yeah.
That is not how you want to show up to the New Year's party.
With the fat lip and...
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Well, you know what I think might help is whatever the hell is in that punch bowl. Because I don't know if you saw it, Christine, but from what I remember, it was like this milky color. And I was like, I don't want to drink that.
Maybe it's eggnog.
I think that's more... Isn't that more
Christmas.
yellowy?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, maybe
really
it is eggnog. Maybe
be.
I do want to drink it.
I've never had it, so I have no idea how it tastes.
Oh, do you know what? The best thing about being in the States, like towards autumn time, or as our friends across the pond would say, fall, is they have like apple cider. And I love it. Hot apple cider. That's the best
I've never
fall
had
drink.
it. Again, never had it.
It's just like warm apple juice, but with spices and better.
That sounds good.
It does.
Actually, yeah.
It's better than eggnog. I would bring that to... You know what, Christine? We'll have our own little Friends of Friends New Year's party. And I will find a way to get some.
Let's do that.
You bring the eggnog. I will bring the apple cider.
Sure. Sure.
Well, the party continues with not so fun Bobby arriving after the death of his grandpa, and Max revealing that he's going to go to Minsk with or without David. Brokenheartedly, Phoebe tells David that he has to go to Minsk too. Phoebe, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. So we won't see David for a while, but he will be back.
He'll be back.
Eventually.
I feel like you already know that. Well, anyway, first thoughts on this scene. Marcel's little hat. And that is all I have to say.
Is he wearing a hat?
He's wearing a hat and it's so cute.
I totally missed it.
Wait, I'm sorry, miss. I noticed every outfit in this entire episode.
No, because I don't like Marcel, so I don't pay attention to
You just hid behind your hands.
Yeah, I was like, nope,
I will not see. I thought it was so cute.
Yeah. Nah, no.
Okay, fine. You didn't notice Marcel's little hat, which was amazing. Add it to the slideshow.
Yeah, to the fashion
What did
show.
you think about Janice's outfit?
Oh no, it was almost like very punky. Like she had
like a tutu.
Yeah, tutu with pink, like hot pink and a black.
Everybody was
or
like
something.
Grease inspired in this
Yeah,
episode.
and it was like
Ugh.
awful. No, she looked not great.
Can you do a Janice impression?
Oh my god, was that good?
I have no idea.
No, you do it.
Oh no, the pressure. Oh my god.
That was great. You actually have to do it with your nose closed because she's very nasally, I think.
Okay, we'll do it together. You ready?
Oh my god. That was really bad.
Well, Maggie Wheeler doesn't hold her nose every time she speaks.
No, but she has just a very nasal voice.
I don't think it's her real voice.
It's not?
I don't think so.
No, the laugh is I don't know. But it's she does it well. It fits her character very well.
Still third favorite character.
Yeah.
We also have a new character here, Fun Bobby.
Fun Bobby. I love him.
Yeah?
He is a little bit depressed here, of course.
A little bit.
Grandpa has passed away, but he is handsome.
I wrote the same thing.
Oh my god.
I thought so. Christine, there's something that you should know about me, and that is that I had a crush pretty much when I was a teenager for all of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, that's who I would dreamcast Fun Bobby. Is my childhood, my teenage crush. His name is Lucas Till.
Lucas Till?
And I don't know whether you ever saw the Hannah Montana movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. He is so cute.
Yes. So, and also after the Hannah Montana movie, he like grew out his hair as well.
I see a picture of it. Oh my god, he is so cute. This is so bad.
Oh jeez. Guys, I'm gonna get Christine some water right now. Right? Isn't that like perfect casting for Fun Bobby?
You have to see this picture. His smile. Oh my god.
I know.
This is just like girl gossip right now.
Do you see how my entire teenage years were just ruined by this man?
Yeah,
like
I see it.
I thought I would never love again.
Is he married?
Okay, Lucas Till, if you're listening and you received a message from @FOFPodOfficial, Christine, do be sliding into your DMs.
Yes.
Is he married?
I think so.
Oh, sorry for
To
your
a
loss.
blonde. That's such
Is it
a
Hannah? You know what? You're giving Miley Stewart vibes a little bit.
No, it's Skylar Samuels.
Isn't she also famous? Oh, we're doing. Sorry, we're
God.
going off the rails here with some.
Yeah, she is an American actress. She played in Wizards of Waverly Place, The Gates.
You're kidding.
The Nine Lives.
What?
The 9 Lives of Chloe King, Scream
watched
Queens,
that.
and The Gifted.
No, wait.
I don't know her, but she... Oh, no, she doesn't look familiar.
That's the girl from Scream Queens? They're married?
Yeah.
Oh
apparently.
my god. Scream Queens was like I thought the first season of that show was the best piece of television.
I've never seen it, so I'm sorry.
Not including Friends, which is obviously the best.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah, they are
My
married.
mind is blown. Honestly,
Since
like
last year. At least that's
if
what
it had to be
Wikipedia said.
someone, I thought, yeah, Scream Queen's brilliant cinema. So They deserve each other. Like, go for it. Good job,
Good
Skylar.
job.
Good job, Lucas. Wow. Yeah. Anyway.
Where were we?
Crazy. I don't even know. Good. Phoebe is a beautiful woman.
Her hair and gorgeous. The curls.
I thought
my
she
God.
looked like Juliet, like from Romeo and Juliet. You know, with like
yeah.
I
She
did
had
notice an outfit, and I
Yeah.
noticed this one. It was like, yeah, that
very
like
romantic and very cute. I like this one as well. This
Yeah.
was very cute.
very cute. I also thought it was cute, and yes, also heartbreaking how she breaks up with herself.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
Also funny in a way, like that she then has the whole conversation with herself, but yeah.
I think we
poor
should
Phoebe.
reenact that.
I don't have the lines. Do you have the lines?
Don't worry, this is basically a monologue,
Okay,
so I am
okay.
happy to take on this burden. So Phoebe's like, just say, Phoebe, my work is my life, and that's what I have to do right now. And I say, your work? Your work? How can you say that? And then you say, it's tearing me apart, but I have no choice. Can't you understand that? And I say, no, I can't understand that. I thought it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
That was a beautiful moment. So that's the Emmy moment, right? That has
Could
to
be. Yeah, no, true. That has to be the Emmy moment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But then I also, I tell you, I felt genuinely sad in this
Yeah.
moment. Like, I don't usually get emotional when consuming media, but I felt it in my soul.
Also, when she says like, you're gonna kiss now.
Oh, yeah,
because
and
I don't.
I have it.
Say it,
And then
please.
you say that it's almost midnight and you have to go because you don't want to start the new year with me if you can't finish it.
That's heartbreaking.
This
Oh
is
my
sadder
God.
than finding out Lucas Till is married.
Yeah. It is really sad. Oh, poor Phoebe.
I really, this broke me.
Yeah, it's really sad. Poor Phoebe.
Well, poor Janice. Again.
Yeah, again,
She was
also.
so excited to get back together, or what she thought.
Yeah,
With Chandler, you know, when Ross is taking their pictures and she's like, I'm going to blow this one up and I'm going to write reunited in glitter.
No. But yeah, in this scene, Chandler is really rude because then he says like, they take the pictures and he says like, kill me now. Kill
Yes.
me.
This is
It's
the part
so
where
rude.
I think I wrote, I hate Chandler. So.
Yeah. He is really mean in this scene.
Yeah.
But I did notice a eagle eye moment in this scene, or at least
Ooh.
kind of, because I saw some really weird art at the back, like the wall next to the bathroom in
Okay.
Monica's apartment, like one very spooky lady.
Oh.
I'm showing the picture
Okay,
now
so it's
to-
like this. Yeah, it's like an old-timey photograph.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I also saw this one, was also like very old-timey.
What is it?
I don't know. I think it's a woman near a tree or something. But it's like an old school painting, like very historic
Huh.
painting. And then I also saw this man who looks like he's
Oh, God. Oh, what is that?
he's picking his nose or
Oh,
something.
so it's like a little statue of a goblin.
Yeah, like a bald man and in stone.
Monica,
and he's like
what are
touching
you
his nose or
doing?
something. It's creepy.
That is creepy.
That is creepy.
Oh.
I've never noticed it before. But
No,
it's
well,
there.
maybe we don't see that side of the apartment very much either.
No, so yeah, that's what I noticed like now because yeah, you see it.
Thank you.
Pretty
You
good.
know what? That weirdness took me away from the heartbreak I was feeling about
Yeah.
Phoebe and David. So
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Christine. I
You're
feel
welcome.
better after that creepy goblin.
Yeah. So finally, the episode ends at midnight, where the friends find themselves with no one to kiss. No one except Chandler. That is.
Ugh.
That rhymes.
Does it?
Kiss. That is.
Okay, maybe in your accent. I don't know if it would rhyme in mine.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I maintain I hate Chandler. That's what I've learned from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I found him a jerk throughout this entire episode. I thought he just kicked Janice out and then he's immediately
Yeah.
he's begging people to kiss him.
He's very egocentric.
Disgusting
Like,
behavior,
yeah, like-
Chandler. You know what? Now I feel like for sure he would be in therapy.
Who Chandler would be.
Yeah. He needs it.
Yeah, he needs it. Yeah, because now you're saying it like he just broke up with Janice, like very rudely, and then he's like begging for kiss me, somebody kiss me. Like, come on.
Creepy.
It is weepy.
No, I don't like it.
No,
The only good thing about this scene is that we got one more insight, not really, into the Peacock story.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know why.
Yeah.
You know what?
The Peacock
You know what?
bit me.
Yeah, well, he deserved it.
He deserved
So-
it, definitely. Yeah. And there's one super funny part about this scene, which I really enjoyed, is, of course, Phoebe is sad, and then she says, like, everybody looks so happy. I hate that. And then Monica jumps in and says, not everybody's happy. And then says, hey, Bobby. And then you see, like, Bobby's, like, crying face with his party hat and his what's it called? Like, his party
I have no idea.
blower?
That's what I would call it, yeah.
Party blower? Party trumpet or something? I don't know. But he looks like so, I really love that, like, final little funny thing there.
Yeah, that's it. And that's exactly what we need, right? Like when you have this, it's a sad storyline, and then they have to add a little bit of humor.
Little bit
that's
of
what we love about Friends, right?
Yeah, true.
And also, good on Joey for kissing Chandler in the end.
Yeah.
So anything to shut that man up.
Shut him up, please.
Jeez.
And, final thing. Gunther didn't get a kiss.
Was Gunther there?
Gunther was
He was at
there.
the party?
He was at
My
the party,
man?
yeah.
I was distracted by hot fun Bobby
Maybe.
and David, my two men. Oh gosh, that would be quite the party to attend.
Oh man. No, but Gunther was standing at the back and he was just like, yay, like at 12 o'clock, like
good
yay,
for
but
him.
not like he had no one, and everyone was like hugging or like kissing or whatever, and he was like, oh.
Well, I'm sorry, but as I have previously expressed, if I'm at a party with Fun Bobby, David, and Gunther, I think we know Gunther's not the one who's going to be getting a kiss. So.
Nope.
As much as I love him. Anyway, I would say a pretty solid episode, Christine. I did enjoy this one. I thought it was nice. I enjoyed the storylines. I thought Marcel was cute. I'm sure I'm going to hate him later. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very emotional when we had David and Phoebe. I like the introduction of David. And to summarize, I really, really, really want to have New Year's Eve in New York.
Yeah, at Monica's place.
Preferably with Fun Bobby. But that can be discussed.
Yes, please. Come on in. No. No, yeah, I really liked the episode, except for Marcel. If you take him out, then it's good.
Great, then it's like a 10-minute episode, but
yeah, true. But anyway, I don't care. 10 minutes is better than 20 minutes with Marcel.
Fair enough.
Very rude, sorry. And just, poor Phoebe. I hope it will work out for her.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Well, don't start crying yet, Christine, because I do have a little pick-me-up for the end of this episode.
Okay.
Are you ready for a Friends of Friends of Friends?
Yes!
That's right, everybody. We have a listener mail that was sent in to us. I'm so happy to share this one to you. This comes from Taylor. And if I may read it out to you, Christine.
Of course.
And you're going to love the subject line, Christine.
Okay, tell me.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What happens in Milwaukee stays in Milwaukee.
Oh, that is very mysterious.
I know, but I could tell you I've never clicked on an email so fast. Well, let me read it out for you. So Taylor begins by saying, "Hi, Kira and Christine. Your podcast appeared in my Spotify recommendations recently, and I had a listen to the first episode and have been hooked ever since."
So sweet.
I know,
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure Taylor has already left us a 5-star review. So thank you in advance for doing that. They continue by saying, "I just finished listening to episode 7 and wanted to send you a message to let you know that this was my favorite one so far. Not only because, like Kira, I love the actual Friends episode, clearly a person with good taste, but also because it and your pod mention Milwaukee."
Ooh.
So
I want to know now.
Good. Taylor continues by saying, "I'm Milwaukee born and raised."
Oh.
And found it hilarious that you guys were both stumped about why Phoebe chose that as the weirdest place she's ever had sex. I maintain being stumped. Like, I still have no idea.
Like, why is it? Why is that the reason?
Well, Taylor says, "I wouldn't say Milwaukee is that weird, but something that probably makes us different from a lot of places." Christine, can you guess?
I have no idea. I have zero knowledge about Milwaukee. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Taylor.
Well, you're about to learn. Is how much we love custard.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
I don't know if you guys have it over there, but it's essentially our version of ice cream, but way better.
That sounds so good.
Doesn't it? I guess this must be frozen custard, right?
Yeah.
Which
I
does
guess.
sound really good.
Delicious.
So Taylor continues by saying, I'm not sure whether you guys will ever make it over to Milwaukee. I'm just saying, after this email, we might.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do, please try the butter pecan, or I guess I should say pecan. I think that's the American way of saying it, at Leon's, and tell me what you think. Well, I can tell you one thing, Taylor, is I will be Googling Leon's right after this episode and making a reservation.
I'm booking my ticket.
To try all of the flavors. Oof, that sounds good. One more part. Taylor continues by saying, count me in if you guys ever do a live tour. I think your style would be perfect for live shows. Until then, looking forward to the rest of your episodes.
Nice. That's really sweet.
I know. I keep saying that. I'm turning into Monica. P.S. Big fan of the way you start each ep with what your week would be called if it was a Friends episode. That's my favorite part.
Taylor!
I love that. I think that might be my favorite part as well. I love learning about your week, Christine.
Yeah, and I love the questions as well. Like the first question. Like I learned so much about you.
I know. I'm doing it again. I'm sorry.
You really are, Monica.
Yeah, those are also my favorite parts of the episode. So I'm glad that somebody else is enjoying them. Taylor, that was such a sweet email. Thank you. Count me in for a live tour, specifically only in Milwaukee. We'll do one night only, Milwaukee.
We'll visit all the custard places. Like every night a new custard place.
A new what?
A custard.
Oh, custard. I thought you said gossip place.
Gossip, no, custard. Sorry, custard.
I was like, that's a different kind of podcast.
No.
Yes, because, well, they said Leon's is a good place. But yeah, I guess if they're hooked on frozen custard, there must be more places. So.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
I forget Monica. I'm now Matthew. Well, thank you so much for your email, Taylor. And if anybody else would like to get in touch with us, send us your own thoughts. You can do that on Instagram at FOFPodOfficial or
through our email, which is FOFPodOfficial@gmail.com.
You are getting so fast at that.
Yeah, I know. So that brings us to the end of this episode. I really had a good time and I'm craving custard right now. So, and we hope you enjoyed it as well, as much as we did actually.
Absolutely. And don't forget to tune in next time where we'll be chatting about Season 1, Episode 11, the one with Mrs. Bing.
Ooh, yeah. Love it. Looking forward to that one already.
If you've been enjoying the podcast as much as myself, Christine, and our lovely new friend Taylor have, please don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. And do go ahead and leave us a rating or review. It really helps others to find the show.
So thank you so much for tuning in today, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Until then, take care, and I'll just say, you guys put the fun in my bobby.
So cute.
See you next time.
Bye!